Right now on Denver 7 News at 7 o'clock on Local 3, more protections for reproductive rights like abortions in Colorado. How the governor's new executive order will help people here and in other states.
The Rainbow family is packing it in as their gathering in northern Colorado comes to a close, but the Forest Service is hoping some will stick around.
And the Avalanche have been smiling big since they won the Stanley Cup, but they only trust one guy with their teeth.
This year, for good reason, they have had no interest at all in going to the dentist.
Yeah, who wants to go to the dentist? We talked to the teen dentist about the crazy scenarios he's seen.
I don't mind it so much, but I don't have that problem.
The players would tell you it's worth it.
Well, we're going to talk all about that. First, though, some breaking news this morning from the UK. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson will resign in the aftermath of multiple ethics scandals. He says he'll stay on till the fall to help his Conservative Party transition to a new leader.
To that new leader, I say, whoever he or she may be, I say I will give you as much support as I can. And to you, the British public, I know that there will be many people who are relieved and perhaps quite a few who will also be disappointed. And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world.
You could hear there was a crowd there behind him outside 10 Downing Street this morning when he made that announcement. That was just after 5:30 our time. Johnson did pass a no confidence vote last month, but ultimately resigned after more than 40 ministers quit his government.
Back here at home, 7:01 as we take a live look outside from our Mile High camera across downtown. Beautiful, bright sunrise to start us off early, but Stacy, we do have a chance of storms later.
We do, and we're going to see those develop in the high country first and then move here across the Front Range of the Eastern Plains, similar to what we saw yesterday during the afternoon. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s here in the high country for this morning, mostly 60s across the Front Range and the Eastern Plains. We have 62 degrees out there now. We'll be up to 68 by 8 a.m. and then we'll be in the upper 80s for our afternoon highs today. And we are expecting stronger thunderstorms across the eastern portion of our state, but it doesn't look like it'll be as bad as it was yesterday. We had tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. I think we'll have isolated thunderstorms throughout this afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 80s here, close to 90 degrees for northeastern Colorado with 60s and 70s for the higher elevations. So we'll have 88 in Littleton and in Denver, 87 in Aurora with chances for thunderstorms later on.
And we do have a couple of problems, including one weather-related issue up to the north. You could see, well, you can't see. Here in Erie, you can look at the cars. They just disappear in the very thick fog. So thick, you can barely see where you're going. So be careful north of 120th, heading up to Longmont. Take a look at the drive that we have in Metro Denver. One of the big problems, I-25 at University. We have one lane blocked. At one point, we had the whole highway blocked up. Take a look from the camera over there, and you can see that we have the right lane blocked. Traffic is still creeping along through here. So the drive time is at about 40 minutes or so. I just checked out Bucktail. That's getting really heavy. Evans is actually looking okay, getting over to Colorado Boulevard or over to Evans. Southbound and I-25. I-25 over at Spear. We do have a minor crash there for you, way over to the right side. And still big delays up to the north with this crash up by Crossroads. So northbound 25 from Johnson's Corner up through here. So Rocky Mountain Avenue or Centura Parkway gets you around it better.
Thank you, Jason. Governor Jared Polis is taking more action to protect Coloradans on reproductive rights.
Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us now live. And Veronica, why does the governor think this is necessary when he just signed a new law protecting abortion rights here in Colorado?
Well, this executive order really is all about protecting women from different states who might be at stake for being prosecuted for coming to a place like Colorado for something like an abortion. So the executive order says unless there's a court order, state agencies and departments should not cooperate with any investigation regarding anything protected by Colorado law regarding reproductive health care, so things like abortions. It also directs state agencies and departments to, quote, pursue opportunities and coordinate with each other to protect people and entities who are providing, assisting, seeking, or obtaining this kind of health care in Colorado. And the order also protects licenses here. It directs the Department of Regulatory Agencies to issue specific rules to make sure no one's license is revoked for helping someone get an abortion. Now, the executive order comes just as attorneys, not just in Colorado, but really all across the country, prepare for criminal charges to be filed against women who get abortions, as well as doctors who provide them. Denver 7 spoke with one attorney gearing up for just that. Listen to what he says those criminal charges could look like.
Those kind of prosecutions are going to look like first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter. Then you have all the providers who are assisting. You've got aiding and abetting of those crimes, which are also very serious crimes.
And if you remember, Governor Polis actually signed the Reproductive Health Equity Act earlier this year. That was to codify abortions into state statute. And now the sponsors of that bill, they hope to run a constitutional ballot measure in 2024. That's to preserve abortion access into Colorado's constitution. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Yeah, thank you, Veronica. For some additional context, Colorado is one of 16 states, plus the District of Columbia, with laws protecting the right to have an abortion. Out of those 16, only 4 of them, including Colorado, protect the right to an abortion throughout a pregnancy. The other 12 states have laws protecting abortions prior to viability or when necessary to protect the life of the mother. On the other side, 7 states have total bans on abortion in effect right now, and several other states have bans that could soon take effect pending the outcome of other legal challenges in the courts.
Investigators say the man charged now with killing 7 people at the July 4th parade near Chicago was plotting another attack the same day. They say the 21-year-old fled to Madison, Wisconsin, and considered opening fire on another celebration there, but decided against it. He's due in court at the end of the month and would face life in prison without parole if he's convicted. Investigators are also considering charges against his father for helping his son buy multiple guns. Meanwhile, the Illinois community of Highland Park is now planning funerals. Irina and Kevin McCarthy were found slumped over their 2-year-old son, Aiden. A Good Samaritan who brought the toddler to safety says his sock was soaked in blood.
When I took Aiden down to the garage, he wasn't crying. He just kept saying, "Is Mama Dada okay?" And it was hard to look at him in the face and say it's going to be okay when I didn't know if it was.
A horrible situation to be in. A relative started a verified GoFundMe campaign for 2-year-old Aiden. Nearly $3 million has been raised so far. Meanwhile, police in Virginia believe they stopped a separate planned 4th of July mass shooting. What is going on here? They say a tip led them to arrest 2 men. They seized 2 assault rifles, a handgun, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Police say the tipster heard a conversation about the attack being planned on the celebration there.
Well, today is moving day for one of Denver's 3 sanctioned homeless tent camps. Denver 7's Russell Haythorne joins us now live. And Russell, we heard you say the gates there are open. Are we seeing people moving already?
Yeah, we are, Nicole. This is the latest safe outdoor space in the city of Denver. It sits here in the Barnum neighborhood, just off Federal Boulevard, about a mile or so south of Empower Field at Mile High. And the idea here is to give the unsheltered or the homeless a place to call home, at least for now. We have some video to show you. The idea, again, to reduce the impact of camping in these neighborhoods and give people a place who might otherwise be camping in bus shelters or on benches or random street corners. They continue to build out this site with electricity, restrooms, and even recycled asphalt to make it as comfortable as possible.
When we enter into a new neighborhood, we want to reduce the impacts that unsheltered homelessness has in the neighborhood. So we like to invite and save some spaces for whatever neighborhood we're going into to bring the folks that are camping in that neighborhood into the safe outdoor space.
The Colorado Village Collaborative has partnered with St. Francis Center to operate this safe outdoor space. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll talk about long-term plans for this site, which also include permanent housing options as well. We're live tonight, we're live this morning rather, in the Barnum neighborhood. Russell Haythorne, back to you guys.
Usually it's night for him. Probably feels like night for him at this hour. A rare project is happening right now in the Loretto Heights neighborhood of Denver. 62 nuns with the Sisters of Loretto Order are being exhumed from their graves and moved to a new resting place. It's to make way for redevelopment. It's a controversial decision, obviously, but Sister Mary Nell Gage says it's one her community is now at peace with.
There won't be sisters here in 20 years for somebody to call and say, oh, there was some mischief in the cemetery last night. you better come and see. Maybe some stones got turned over or spray painted, or so we best prepare for perpetual care for them.
It's been a weeks-long project with help from archaeologists and students from nearby universities. There will be a ceremony in August once all the nuns are reburied at the Mount Olivet Cemetery.
Well, the Rainbow family's 50th anniversary gathering is supposed to end today. These are pictures from Steamboat Radio showing the huge crowds who gathered in the Routt National Forest over the 4th of July weekend. We heard over 8,000 people there, and some people are expected to stay a little longer. The Forest Service hopes they'll help clean up.
At the end of the gathering, we will put together a restoration plan, and the Rainbow family typically in past years has had a contingency of folks that stay on the landscape and rehabilitate the site to close to what it was before.
And the Forest Service is especially concerned about trash and human waste.
If you want to get outside this weekend, Colorado's wildflowers are just starting to peak for summer. And not to worry, you have a little more time to get out and see them than in years past. And that's because of the rain and the cooler temperatures we've been seeing. So the blooms are just starting to hit their pink peak now. Flowers in the lower elevations will peak a little bit sooner because the temperatures are warmer there.
Beautiful. Well, hold on. A Colorado roller coaster defies gravity. How this one stands out from other rides across the country.